I've been working on a small workbench, a mini or micro workbench, and this is portable. And this one was inspired by work that's being done by Mike Taylor at Tay Tools, and it's taytools.com. And so Mike and I got corresponding about trying to broaden the safety and the availability of woodworking for both children and beginning adults who may not be starting out with a real workbench. And so this mounts to any flat surface using these micro jig clamps. You can use either the micro jig or you can use the clamps that are intended for track saws, and they will really lock the bench down tight. I found that this doesn't work very well on a plastic table because the plastic table has too much movement. One of the inventions that Mike came up with are these flipper handles, and they allow you to move the vise in and out rather quickly. And this one has common dog holes, 3/4 inch dog holes, and with these clamps that come from Tay Tools, you can see that you can clamp something down really tight. And this is another type of clamp that you can use that will tighten up and hold things in place. Following Mike's lead, I put little stops on the end that you can raise, and a similar stop along the back edge that you can raise if you want to position something to hold it securely. I want to show you how this can work for planing. These flipper handles actually provide quite a bit of torque, and you can see I can't move that, and I can plane it. And unless I was working on something that's rather long, this provides enough clamping force to hold things secure. One of the things I'll point out, if you don't want to use the flipper handles, which are a little more complicated to make, you can just simply take a block of wood and drill a hole in it, and you can make a little wrench that will actually apply a great deal of force. So I want to show you a little bit about how this is made. So I'm going to undo the clamps so I can turn it over. And then I can show you some of the details on the underside. I want to show you a little bit about how this is made. So this block of wood that forms the face of the vise, the inside face of the vise, stands up tall, so it goes up against the edge of the table or the bench or up against the countertop or desk, wherever. These are barrel nuts, and that's a 5/8 inch barrel nut, and it's designed for a 3/8 inch rod. And so that 3/8 inch rod just simply passes through the barrel nut, and that locks it in place, and it allows the outer jaw of the bench to move in or out. And the threaded rod fits into a hole that's drilled, 3/8 inch hole that's drilled in the block of wood, and then that's just simply epoxy glued in place. The flippers are drilled with a 3/16 inch brass rod to go through, and to mount them in place I put a little bit of epoxy glue on the inside of the hole on one side and put some epoxy glue on the rod itself as it's pushed into place, knowing that that rod moving in will pull some of the epoxy in and lock it in place. So those are the simple features of the underside of this bench. It's mounted up on blocks here, glued in place, and so what these do is they just simply provide greater depth for bench dogs to fit through.